Welcome to the today's session. Today's session is continuation of a topic factors affecting Lee Chetlier's principle. So in today's discussion, we are going to discuss other factors. What we have discussed yesterday, excluding that, other factors are there. So those factors we are going to discuss today. Okay. So once again, I welcome you all for today's session on factors affecting Lee Chatelier's principle, second part. Okay, right. First factor is effect of inert gas addition. Inert gas, chemically least reactive, noble gas, zero group member. So when we add inert gas to the reaction which is in equilibrium, see, first of all, it is not a what reactive chemical. So when it is not reactive chemical, so it will not react. First basic requirement is, so when it is not reacting and it is not changing the partial pressure also, so neither it is changing the partial pressure or the concentration. Therefore, with respect to the concentration, with respect to the reactivity, its role is nil. Therefore, when we add inert gas to the system in equilibrium, there is no any impact on the chemical equilibrium. Okay, so what is the conclusion? Conclusion is no effect of addition of inert gas to the system in equilibrium. Okay, right. Now, effects of temperature. What happens when the temperature is changed? Okay, when a system is in equilibrium, at that time, when we change the temperature, what is the impact? What is the effect? Okay, right. But first we understand there are two types of reactions with respect to temperature in chemistry. They are called as, first one is exothermic reaction, where energy is given out, heat energy is given out. Okay, endothermic, heat is absorbed. Okay, right. Now, its nature is exothermic, means heat is given out. So heat is will be there on the RHS. It is given out. It is taken as one of the products because along with the product it is coming out. So it is also taken as one of the products. Therefore, its nature is to give the heat. You don't want extra heat is given out. That time, if you increase, it will not be happy because its nature is to give the heat. So therefore, increase in temperature is not happy for the exothermic reaction, right? So increase in temperature will shift the reaction towards the left side. Reverse reaction starts. Whereas decrease in the temperature will favor the forward reaction. This is what for the exothermic. For the endothermic, where nature is absorption of heat. So here heat is one of the reactants here, not the products. Okay. Therefore, its nature is to take or to absorb or to gain the heat. So when it is ready to take the heat, if you increase, that time what happens? Temperature will shift equilibrium towards right. Okay, which temperature? Increase in temperature. So increase in temperature will shift the equilibrium towards right. That means from what left to the right. Products are formed because nature is endothermic. It wants heat energy. And decrease in temperature will shift equilibrium towards the left. So this is the impact of temperature on exo and the endo. Examples will make this concept clear. Example is reaction between nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas to give ammonia. Okay, this is exothermic in nature. 92 kilojoules of energy is given out, so it is exothermic reaction. When the reaction is exothermic, it is heat, it is giving out the heat. That means it don't want any increase in temperature. So if you increase the temperature, what happens? It is not happy. So instead of giving the ammonia, it will give back nitrogen and the hydrogen. Okay. So therefore, don't increase temperature. So minimum amount of temperature maintain. Don't go for the higher temperature. This was the problem faced by the Weber during the manufacture of ammonia earlier, not now. Earlier, when he was doing research work on the preparation of ammonia in the industry, so he was not having the idea of the lead catalyst principle. So therefore, after understanding principle, then applying the appropriate temperature, pressure, then we got some amount of ammonia. Otherwise, he was not getting ammonia only. Ammonia was decomposing and giving nitrogen and hydrogen. Okay, so don't increase temperature for this reaction. Now, this is a general example where nature is endothermic. A plus B giving C plus D. So, for this heat is given. Okay, it is absorbing the heat. This is endothermic in nature. Heat is absorbed. So, its nature is what? It want heat. So, increase in temperature will favor the forward because by taking heat only it is reacting and giving the products. Therefore, increase in temperature is what? It is giving, it is what shifting towards the product side. Decrease will shift towards the LHS. Okay, right. Now, this one. Okay, this is nitrogen dioxide giving the dinitrogen tetroxide. Okay, this is exothermic in nature. Forward reaction is exothermic. Reverse reaction is endothermic. Okay, and the color of this is reddish brown or yellow. You can take it as yellow. This is colorless. Okay, so yellow color to the colorless is exothermic or forward, whereas colorless to the yellow color is endothermic or reverse reaction. Now, when the forward reaction is exothermic, that time when you increase the temperature, it don't want. It is already giving the heat. Therefore, it don't want. When you increase the temperature than the required, then reverse reaction starts. Okay, that means what? Increase in temperature will decompose N2O4 into 2NO2. That means appearance of the yellow color with increase in temperature. So when the temperature is decreased, yellow color disappears, becomes colorless. Okay. So this is seen experimentally. This is seen what? Experimentally. See here. Warm. Okay. Warm is what? Yellow color. Cool is what? Cool is color is going to the colorless. Okay. All these experimentally they have done it. It's an example of what? Example of NO22, N2O4. Now effect of temperature is seen on one more experiment. This is the reaction between cobalt chloride ion and the water molecule to give the complex. Okay, this is exothermic in nature. Okay, so when it is exothermic nature, as usual, it don't lack heat. If you increase the temperature, this reaction starts reverse. Okay, what is reverse? Pink becoming the blue, where increase in temperature. So increase in temperature becoming the pink to blue. Whereas if you decrease temperature, blue becoming the pink. So decreasing temperature, keeping test tube in the ice. Okay, so it is called decreasing temperature. Color change is what? From blue to the pink. Depend upon the again nature. Okay, right. Now, what is the effect of catalyst and on equilibrium? Okay, see, catalyst is a chemical which will alter the rate of reaction, the speed of a reaction, okay, the velocity of a reaction. Okay, its role is to alter the speed of a reaction or the rate of reaction without participating in the chemical reaction. So when it is not participating, okay, so what is the impact on the adding catalyst on the equilibrium? Its main role is what? See, if you perform the reaction without catalyst, it may take some 20 minutes. Let's say, for example, okay, if a particular reaction is carried out without catalyst, if it takes 20 minutes, then if the same reaction is carried out in the presence of catalyst, that time instead of 20 minutes, it will be done. It will be carried out 10 minutes only, less than 20. So it will not affect the on chemical equilibrium. Only thing is what? Chemical equilibrium is attained so quickly. That's all. So by bringing the activation energy of the reactant, this is graphically proved here. So this is what? This is a peak when the reaction is carried out without catalyst. So it has taken more time. Okay. So whereas if you take with the catalyst, activation energy is brought down. So when the energy of the reactants is brought down, suddenly they will react and it will increase the speed, and immediately we get the product. So the role of catalyst is to increase the rate, that's all. So quickly we attain the equilibrium. Otherwise, special impact on the equilibrium is not there. Okay, right. Now, another example here. Same very famous example, preparation of ammonia from nitrogen and the hydrogen. So I told he was facing the problem of temperature, Haber. So Haber also facing problem, one more problem. What? The reaction is very slow. Okay, therefore, when you use the catalyst, airness catalyst, that time reaction becomes very fast. Okay, so therefore, sometimes use of catalyst will go for immediate equilibrium. That means it will increase the rate. So by using airness catalyst, Haber could go achieve the purpose of getting ammonia in less time. Okay, this is the effect of what? Catalyst on the chemical equilibrium. But as such, there is no that much impact on the equilibrium by the catalyst. Only to increase the rate. That's all. Now, one more. Converting sulfur dioxide to sulfur dioxide. Without catalyst, normal speed. With catalyst, it will go faster. So for this reaction, vanadium pentoxide is the best catalyst. So by the use of vanadium pentoxide, I think you can do the work of getting SO3 from SO2. This reaction is very useful in the preparation of sulfuric acid in the industry. Okay, right. See, this is a small portion of the sulfuric acid plant in the industry using the vanadium catalyst in this chamber at this temperature. Okay, this is called as a catalytic converter. We are converting SO2 into SO3 using catalyst. Therefore, this chamber is called as what? Catalytic converter. So this is the most important chamber where SO2 becomes SO3. And afterwards, in the next chamber, SO3 becomes what? Sulfuric acid, that we learn in the next class. Okay, right. So today what we understood? We understood other factors which are affecting the chemical equilibrium. Okay. So I think now till now we understood what factors affecting chemical equilibrium. So now from next session onwards, we are going to start the second part of the chemical equilibrium. Till the Lee checklist principle and the factors affecting the Lee checklist principle, this is called first part of chemical equilibrium. Now from next session onwards, we are going to start the second part, which includes mainly acids, bases and salt, how they are explained on different theories and their dissociation. All these points we'll discuss in our next forthcoming sessions. Till then, have a nice time and thank you and all.